Hello everyone, this is Anand with Canis IT training videos. In this video, I'm going to show you SCCM 2012. This video will be all about OSDs, operating system deployments. So in this video, I'm going to go through SCCM 2012 OSD overview, how to prepare SCCM environment for OSD operating system deployment, doing basic configuration for OSD like boot images, preparing distribution point for OSD. After that, we're going to talk about task sequence type, task sequence media, and then we're going to use task sequence media to capture Windows 7 reference machine. After that, we're going to deploy Windows 7 through task sequence using SCCM 2012 R2. Let's get started. Now, within this video, Now, I do have my infrastructure ready. That is our server. This is my DC. This is my SCCM. This is SCCM2. And this one is just a client that we're going to use as a reference and we'll capture it from SCCM. Now, in order to do this, we need to have few things ready for this environment. Now, whenever we talk about OSD, your environment should have, before I start working on SCCM side, I need to first make the other infrastructure components available. For example, in real environment, we do have DHCP, but in test environment, we don't. So first of all, I'm going to add DHCP. So how are you going to add DHCP? Add role, and next, next, and next. I'm going to select DHCP. So go with DHCP installation. Now, why DHCP is required? DHCP is required on bare metal machines. They start a DHCP. Sorry, when they are started, the very first thing they're going to need is DHCP. And once after getting IP address from DHCP for a bare metal machine, they would they will be directed to WDS for operating system. Now, machines cannot even reach to WDS or SCCM server for operating system deployment without DHCP, so you must have a DHCP. So DHCP is being installed. Once it is installed, then we're gonna authorize it. Once it is authorized, then we're gonna create a scope. Once scope is created, that's it. And right after that, then we're gonna jump onto SCCM and enable the settings. So it is installed. Here it says installed. Do not forget to complete DHCP configuration before closing. It gives us this thing. Now here, make sure you're logged in with scanner/administrator, your domain/administrator, because if you don't, then this option will be grayed out, and here you will have to select your domain/administrator. Now, DHCP can only be authorized by a person who is enterprise admin. So this is my account. This is by default is enterprise admin. So if this reaches here, commit, commit, and once it is done, your basic DHCP configuration is finished. Now the second thing what I'm going to need is I am going to go into server, set up the scope. So you go into DHCP, right click here, DHCP manager, and then go to DHCP, go down to make sure it is green. Sometimes it is not green, so you need to kind of activate the IPv4 or the scope. Here I have no scope. I do have these things, although I have server options. In server options I do have one setting which is 06. You might not have this setting from before. Actually, I do have a scope that I created earlier. So for now, just to show you, I'm going to create that scope again. So here I'm also going to remove this setting. So your DHCP would look like this. You have a DHCP server, IPv4, server option, let's create a scope. Now when you're creating a scope, it should be from your own subnet. In my case, so first of all, let's name it. So let's say this is my CANF HQ scope 1, and we'll go next. My starting IP address will be 192.1.0.5. In this network I have 105 address. Let's make sure Yes, it is 105 network. What is this server IP address? So this server is 105.10. So here, my scope starts from here and to 254. Subnet mask remains the same. Here I'm gonna say exclusion range. So my exclusion range, I want to exclude anything from 1 to 150. Sorry, 168. 105.160, because actually I have two servers and their IP address I think 110 and 120. So for that reason I'm just creating this scope exclusion range. So after 160 everything can be used for DHCP. Create next. Lead time will be 8. For now I'm not gonna need server options. Uh, You do need a DNS option, but I'm not going to select DNS at the moment because I want to show you something at later stage. Later stage. If we do not add DHCP option to a scope, it creates some issues. So I wanted to show you those issues. So for now, I'm gonna just finish. So scope is finished. For now, it is not active. You need to click here, activate the scope, and it should be active. So the scope is active now. I do not have anything in scope options or in server options. So the DHCP server scope and DHCP server is ready. So this is done. Now the second thing is, so once DHCP is ideally we should test DHCP, but for now I don't have a machine other than this client machine that I'm gonna use to capture the image. Uh, we should have had a client machine where we can check DHCP. For now, DHCP is working fine. We're gonna use this DHCP later. So now on the SCCM side, in terms of OSD, everything about OSD exists in software library. It is an operating system. So this is where operating system OSD are made. Now before even coming here, I need to do some verification. So first of all, you need to go to site configuration, then sites, and make sure when the site is selected, go to configure network component, go to software distribution, and make sure that you do have account set up for this. This is very important. Now the second thing here is I need to add, so distribution point is here. I need to add WDS services. Now WDS services can be added from add remove roles and features, but it's not recommended. The recommended for WDS is that it should be automatically enabled from within SCCM. Now here I can add and go and basically add WDS, which is this one, but it is not recommended to do this. So what is the recommended way? All you need to do is you need to go into SCCM. Within SCCM, go to administration, go to site system roles, double click on distribution point. Once you do, go to Pixie and enable Pixie settings. Here it will be adding some settings to DHCP. So basically Pixie requests are on 67, 68, 69 and this. So here I'm going to say enable it. Here I'm going to say Pixie will be allow distribution point to respond to incoming Pixie requests, and it is for known and unknown all types of computers. Here this is a Pixie password. Now whatever machines are requesting OSD from Pixie, they'll be asked a password, and that password is this password. Later on I'm going to show you where that password is asked, but for now just set up our standard password. Here within distribution point, make sure one more thing, that in your boundary group there should be correct boundary. If it is empty, then this distribution will not work properly. So it is right here. So to apply and close. So this is our basic DP settings are done. Now I'll jump on to software library and within software library. Now, one thing is that as soon as you enable Pixie there, we should be able to see WDS in few moments here. What happens is that when Pixie is enabled, DHCP WDS role will be added automatically to the server. Now, what am I talking about? I'm talking about this place here. Go to distribution point, and as soon as you enable Pixie, this initiates automatically WDS installation. So in few moments, I'm not able to see anything. Let's again refresh. Sometimes just take a little more, and here you see WDS is here. Now within WDS, as long as the flag is not giving us anything, sometimes this flag will be yellow, and it would ask us to make some changes to WDS. So let's see the properties or management console of WDS. Here I do see the server is running, and it created different folders. We don't have to do anything here. We don't have to do anything. So just like WDS is added from SCCM, SCCM should be able to configure it. So this is WDS. Now, so we did DHCP, we did some settings, we did enable Pixie here, and we did verify that WDS is installed. Now we can go to software library. So this is my software library, and there are a few things that we need to prepare. Now, what do you need to prepare here? First is drivers are not necessary. These drivers here, you would install drivers for different laptops or client machine where you need to publish the OSD. So you can find those drivers over from the vendor websites for the laptop. So remember that this operating system here, we're going to make a OSD and deploy it to different machines. Now those client machines can be X, can be Lenovo, can be from Dell, can be any other brand. So if there are any other brand, most of the drivers are covered with Server 2012, but some drivers are still not there. So you can add those drivers there individually. Now, SCCM also provides something called driver packages. This driver package is a complete package of one machine. For example, if I have Lenovo 540, let's basically look at Lenovo 540. So here I'm gonna say this is Lenovo 540. Let's look at it. So Lenovo W540. So W540 is this machine. Let's say in your environment you have all W540. Instead of downloading manual drivers, I can search for SCCM driver pack. Once you go there, this one location, SCCM driver package for Windows 7, all drivers will be added to one package. Now the advantage is that you can get all of the drivers by downloading just this one file. So this is around 300 MB. This is 32-bit version. This is here 64-bit version. So basically, if you need drivers, you can download these drivers. These drivers can be uploaded right here from here, or import driver packages. Now our main work starts from the operating system images and operating system installer. Operating system images, you need to add install.wim file of any operating system here, and here you need to add the location of the file that you added here. This is location, this is the file. Now before this, we need to bring Windows 7 installation files here on this server. And how do we do that? We need to go to C drive. Here in my sources folder, I already created a folder called ISO. ISO is empty to start with. What I'm going to do is I am going to create a folder called Windows 7. Now this folder is empty. I need to bring all Windows files here. How do I do that? First of all, within the CD, here, you can go to task, then you can go to CD and mount the Windows version CD, the windows that you have. So all I need to do, I need to go to ISO. Within ISO, this is my Windows Pro, Win Pro 7. And this is 64-bit. And mount it here. Once it is mounted, you can select the CD, select all, Control A. All I did was Control A, copy, and in C drive, I need to go to Sources, within ISO, within Windows. Now once this is all copied, we need to go into Sources after that, and within Sources there are two Vim files. So if I search for Vim, there is Vim file, boot file. Boot file is the one that is used to create a temporary Windows from which it follows the install.vim file and installs the complete Windows. Now all I need to do is, once this is all copied from CD to this location, all I need to, so basically it is being copied. Once it is copied, then I can right click here on images and then add operating system image. And here it looks for there are two things in this window. One is, it is looking for install.vim file for now, and the path should be UNC, cannot be local path. So you should browse. If you go directly here, this will be local path through library. I need a shared path. So double backslash, type your CANF SCCM01, enter, and this is your CANF server. Go to Sources, go to ISO, go to Windows 7, go to Sources, and here all you need to do, install.vim, add install. So this is UNC path, and we'll just need to give the location for install.vim. Once this is done, it automatically picks up the name by opening the install.vim file, and it's done. Once this is all done, all you need to do, go to the second part, which is operating system installer. Again, it's the UNC path, and see this, it does not ask for any Vim file, it just asks for the password. So we can browse, go to SCCM server, go to Sources, go to ISO, go to Windows, and once Windows is selected here, you would say select folder and next. So now we have added images and installers. Now all I need to do is distribute both of them. So here, let's distribute this one. So distribute content. Next, where do you want to distribute? I want to distribute it on my distribution point. And in my case, I have only one. You go here, next, next. So it is distributed. Now always verify if it is. So this one, if this is grayed out, it means that it's doing nothing. But if I refresh now, it should be changed to in progress. So here it is yellow. Yellow means in progress, because I just distributed it, and we need to make sure that it is green, successfully distributed. If it is successfully, now let's refresh again one more time. Might take a bit longer because it's in progress. So we'll leave it there and we'll come back and check. But the same thing we need to do with this installer as well. This must be distributed as well. Before distribution, it's just gray. If it fails, it will be red. And if it is in progress, it will be in progress. So right click on this and distribute. So everything that we made in SCCM should be distributed here. So this is done. So both of them are distributed. Now let's refresh this. No way. I don't need to delete it. So here it is in progress. So in few moments it will be there. So two things are done. And the third thing is, go to boot images. And from here select the first image, double click. I just double clicked on it. And it opens this. There are two things to do. One, go into customization and enable command support, number one. And secondly, within data sources, SD data sources, just make sure this is enabled. That's the only two things we need. So copy, save, and done. So what this does, it automatically updates the distribution point as well. So if previously it was sitting in the distribution point, now here it will be updating the distribution point. Once this is all done, then we'll do the same thing for the second image. I'm gonna pause this for a few moments and then I'm gonna come back. So it's all done. It just took few moments and it is done. That's okay. And I'll do the same thing for the second image. Although we won't be using it for now, but I'm gonna do the same thing. Distribute content. No, not distribute content. We need to double click on this. Go to properties. Make sure in customization this is selected. In data store this thing is selected. And after that all we need to do, so we never changed anything, didn't took that much time. So three things are ready. Now after doing all this preparation, now we're ready to start working with task sequence. Before going on to task sequence, let's see if they are distributed properly. So this is green, this one is also green. No, this one is in progress. Actually it's a complete folder that is being distributed. So here we're gonna just keep on refreshing and see when it is done. It will be done in a few moments. Boot images are distributed, so they are green, and we're gonna create a task sequence. So this is how we prepare our environment for OSD. We made sure that within this WDS is ready. We also made sure made sure DHCP is installed and the IP address, the scope is configured. So that's it for this video, and in the next video I'm going to show you how to create a task sequence, how many types of task sequence are there, and how to work with them. Thank you for watching this video. I'm going to see you in the next video.